Hey guys, it's Aislinn, and in today's video, we're going to be continuing my series of trying some Halloween items from 3 different companies. So I went ahead and I purchased 3 Halloween costumes. The listing looked the exact same. So I went ahead and I bought 3 couple costumes that we're going to compare. We're going to look at the different price points, and we're going to see if each costume is identical. I got this idea from Mia Maples, and I wanted to do it like Halloween edition. So we're doing couple costumes today, which means my husband is going to be joining me on the video. Before he jumps in the video, I'm just going to run through each costume, where I got it from, and the price point. So basically, you're trying to figure out if these companies are buying the same thing from the same distributor and then just charging differently for them. So for today, we're comparing Temu, Amazon, and Shein. So we have the exact same costume, the exact same listing, and we are going to see if all 3 costumes are identical and if people are just charging different prices for each costume. So let's go ahead and go in with the first item from Temu. So this is the Halloween costume I got. I tried to find something that was like very practical, didn't have a lot of pieces to it. So it is soap and a loofah. So this is from the company Era Spooky. At the bottom here, it has a little cat, and it's from Era Spooky. So this one I got from Temu. This retailed for $19.71. I paid $2.99 in shipping for a total of $24.29. So here is what the one from Temu looks like. Let's go ahead and run through the other 2 companies, and then we'll open them up and see if there's any difference and try them on. The next one I got is from Amazon, and this one retailed for $29.99. And if you can tell by the packaging, it is literally the exact same as the other one. Like, it even has the brand name here in the corner. So yes, this is literally identical. This was $10 more expensive than the Temu one. So in this case, both of these people are definitely using the same manufacturer and the same company for the costume. And the last costume I got is from Shein. This retailed for $22.75. It was free shipping. I just had to pay a little bit of taxes. So my total was $24.34, which is almost exactly the same price as the Temu one. Here's what this one looks like, and again, it is literally identical. So yes, all 3 of these companies are definitely sourcing this specific costume from the same place. I am very curious if we're going to find any minor differences between them. In watching Mia Maples' videos, obviously you're buying the same item from 3 different manufacturers and wondering if they're all outsourcing from the same company. People in her comments let her know that just because 2 of the items are different in color, or maybe the texture is a little bit different, does not mean that they're not still made by the same person and just being branched out. Because I guess as things are mass produced, the color and the texture and stuff can change throughout production. If you're freshly printing something, it can be way more blue, and then as you print a lot, the ink can run out and be a little bit lighter. So just because 2 items look similar and they're almost identical, but they're a little bit different in color or pattern or texture or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not still made from the same manufacturer. So I am curious if we're going to find any differing colors or anything like that with these costumes, because now we know for 100% they are made from the same person. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any color differences between like the blue or maybe the texture of the dress. So let's go ahead and open each costume and compare them and see if we see any immediate differences. Starting off with the Temu one, let's go ahead and open this up. So it's folded like this, and then when you open this, there is the dress inside. So here is the loofah dress. It's actually very, very soft. I thought it was going to be a little bit rougher and more uncomfortable, maybe like itchy, but it's actually really, really soft. It seems like it's really nice quality. So we have the 2 straps at the top here. We have this little tie in the middle, and then here is the dress. It looks extremely short. If you guys did not know, I am very tall. I'm almost 6 feet tall. So most of the time costumes and dresses do not fit me. They don't even cover my butt. So we're gonna see how this fits on me. And then my husband will obviously wear the soap part of the costume. But here's what it's looking like. Straps, little tie in the front, and here is all that tulle. Here is the soap piece. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's literally just like a big like memory foam outfit with the soap. Obviously these are all going to be the same. I'm going to see if I can see any color differences or maybe in the print. So this is the one from Temu. Let's go ahead and open the one from Amazon and see if we can see any color differences. Here it is. folded up just like the other one. Inside is the loofah. Here is the loofah. I'm gonna go ahead and look at it. Let's see if there's any differences. Okay, the straps are clear just like the other one. And we also have that tie. The colors are literally identical on this one. Here is the soap part of the outfit. I'll be able to see if there's more differences when we try them on instead of just pulling them out of the package like this. Once we try them on, I'll be able to spot very quickly if there's any differences between them. All right, let's open the last costume. This one is from Shein. It's folded just like the other two were. Okay, it's looking identical. I already see the strings and I also see the two straps here. So I did notice that on the Amazon dress, the straps were see-through, they were clear. These ones have like a frosted look to them, and I'm assuming that these were clear when they were made. Maybe they sat for a while and over time they just become this frosted look right here. So that is a difference I noticed, but I think that's just how long the costume sat for. I think the Amazon one's probably newer, more people are buying that one. These ones have probably sat for a while and just, you know, these straps turned that frosted color. We have the string in the front, same exact dress. Here is the soap. It's looking the same. So let's go ahead and try these on and see if we can spot any other differences. All right, I just squeezed this on. It's extremely tight. If you are plus sized, forget about it, okay? Because it's not gonna work. Literally, it's barely long enough for me, and I had to put it over my head because I couldn't put it over, like step into it, because I have a thicker lower half and my top half is smaller. So I was able to pull it over my head and like really pull it down so it barely fits. But if you are any bigger than me at all, I mean, it doesn't really even fit me. So let us climb on the bed real quick and I'll go ahead and show you. Here is the little string. It doesn't do anything. It's literally just for show, just for like loofah show. So let's hop on the bed and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, here's the first one from Temu. So I really pulled this down and you guys can see it is like literally like sucking in my body, and like the little ruffles, you can see in between the little ruffles. It is comfortable, I will say that. Other than the tightness of it, it's a little too tight, but like the material is comfortable. It's not really scratchy and it's barely long enough for me, as you guys can see. So here's what it looks like. This one is from Temu. What does it look like back there? I'm scared. Your little soap outfit. I'm freaking dead. Here's what it looks like, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and try on the second outfit and I'll see if I can spot any differences. So far, the colors, the material, everything looks to be identical from what I'm seeing. But let me try them on. We'll see if any of them fit differently or if I spot any color differences while they're on. So moving on to outfit number 2. I just need to show you guys how small this opening is on this dress. It is so small. There's basically elastics all the way up and down so it can stretch, but it still doesn't have that much stretch to it, and the opening is very, very tiny. I'm just gonna show you guys how much I struggled to put this on. Like literally, this is the opening here. I have to go over my head. I look crazy like a T-Rex to literally put this on over my head. And then once you have it over your head, you gotta pull it down, and then my hips, you guys can't see my hips, but I'll stand on the bed and finish putting it on for you so you can see. So basically you just have to grab all of those areas of elastic bands, because they're like, you know, elastic bands all up and down. You basically just gotta keep pulling and wiggling here. So here is the second dress. I compared it to the first one and I see absolutely no differences at all. They are literally the exact same color, the exact same fabric, the exact same length. I see no differences. Do you feel any differences?
Nope, it's the same thing.
It's the exact same. There are no differences. But here we are, and maybe Amazon will be different. Who knows? I'll compare the coloring. I also compared the color of the soap wording on the other costume, and they're literally identical. Like, they are absolutely no different at all. The colors are the exact same. No difference between the colors at all, or the texture, or the length. So far, they are very consistent, and there's no differentiations between them, which is pretty interesting. I thought there'd be a little bit difference. If that theory was true, that products can look a little bit different even if they're manufactured the same place, I figured we would probably see that in this case, because obviously these 3 outfits were not manufactured at the same time. They didn't make one right after the other. They're probably separated by months or years, so the material could have ran out, or the ink might have been low, or whatever. So I thought maybe we'd see something, but so far, Nothing. Let's move on to outfit number 3, baby. Here's the back, in case you were curious. All right, I'm putting on the outfit from Amazon. And remember I told you that the straps on this one were clear? Well, interesting enough, just one is clear. This one's clear. This one is that foggy frosted look. You guys see that? This one's like crystal clear. This one's foggy like the rest of them. So it's weird that they're not the same. But that's the only difference I've found so far. All right, third costume is on. Again, I see no differences, but while I was trying this on, do you want to tell them what you told me?
Hello. I was basically just telling her that from working in factories my whole adult life, I know that sometimes manufacturers can't get the product from their usual source, so sometimes they have to buy it from a different place, so it will be a little different, even though, like with the plastic band, say it's still a plastic band, but they could have like a little different formula, and so it's different, even though it's the same, but it's different.
It's like same concept. People wouldn't notice or complain about it or anything because it's so slight, but if you're comparing them next to each other, then you would notice. So yeah, Aaron did confirm that theory, that happens. He's seen it in factories he's worked at, and they do get different sources for materials if the one they normally use is out or cannot help them. So here's what it looks like. And I in fact did try on every single dress. Aaron can attest to that.
Yeah.
Even though I could have kept the same dress on because they're the exact same except for the one clear strap. This one is from Amazon. Looks the same. I'm getting used to putting them on now. Feels a little bit more comfortable than it did the first time I put it on. Here's the length on this one. And again, no differences. No differences on any of them. So I'm gonna clean this up and I'll meet you back in the film room. Okay guys, we are back from trying on all those costumes. Definitely got me a little winded, not gonna lie. Those costumes are one size fits all, so just be very cautious of that. Be cautious of any costumes that say one size fit all, because clearly that's not the case. And that loofah costume was extremely tight on me, and I would say it didn't fit. Like, it didn't fit correctly. I got it on, but it did not fit the way that it was intended to fit. This video is the only video where every single costume was absolutely identical and there were no differences at all. I think if you got different types of costumes that were not in the same like container like that, or like not foam cutouts, if you got like Superman costumes or like couple costumes that were like hero themed or maybe like Alice in Wonderland themed, I think the costumes would vary a lot more individually. All of those different costumes are so mass produced by so many people, and there are a ton of variations of them. So I feel like if you did something like that, then you would be able to find costumes that have the same listing but are very, very different when you get them in the mail. Whereas this is kind of like an obscure, weird costume. Not a lot of people are producing it. I saw 2 different types of this loofah and soap costume. There's like a pink one and a blue one. I feel like this one company is the one that's distributing to all of these other places that are selling it. Whereas with superhero costumes, I feel like there are way more manufacturers and distributors. Many places are making them, and like Amazon has multiple of superhero costumes. So does Temu and Shein, you know what I'm saying? They have like so many different variations of each costume, whereas like the soap and loofah, it's like a soap and loofah. There's not that many variations you can do. There might be like 1 or 2. You're not going to find the same listing picture and then get something different in the mail. But it is cool that this is the only case out of all these videos I've done where the costumes were exactly the same and there was not a single difference except for the clear strap. Not sure about that clear strap. It's kind of random and weird, but other than that, they were identical. The color, the material, everything, the cuts of them, everything was literally exactly the same. If you liked this costume, I'll leave a link to the Amazon one in the description down below for you guys. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.